All right, YouTube, what's going on? Finally, I'm going to be testing these two items together. So on the left, we have the Trangia 25 set. This is the Duossal, so it's got the aluminum and stainless steel together. On the right, we have, and I'm not going to pronounce stuff right, but it's the Dilo Varik from the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, I think, when it was made. It was that country at that time. Anyway, let's do some quick measurements so you can see. There's not a big comparison because obviously this one is so much smaller. But if we just go on the outside, we're looking at 8 and 3/8 or 8.5 wide on the Trangia, and then we're looking at 4 1/4 tall. On the Dilo, we're looking at 3 and let's say 3/4 wide by 1 3/4. If you count the knob, then it's going to be what, 2 1/4 tall with that little knob. This thing was made in the 70s, maybe the 80s. I got mine used. It's kind of cool because it's very compact. It's also very small, so about all you can do is a cup of tea or coffee, or maybe enough for some ramen or something like that, but it's only doing about just over 8 ounces capacity. All right, let's do some setup here. So there's a lot of accessories for the Trangia, obviously, which are not available for the Dilo, as far as I know. So one accessory would be the kettle. You also have this is kind of a lid plus a cutting board plus a base in snow, things like that, which you wouldn't find with this. You can obviously improvise something for this. Now you have 2 pots in the Trangia versus the single pot with the Dilo. Let's get these guys out. So obviously I have the burner over here, which I can insert into the Trangia. When I open this up, we just have a lid. Attached to the lid is the base. And inside we have the burner, the pot, and the stand. So the stand on this thing's pretty cool. I mean, it just all fits right inside there, as you saw. Everything is made for this just to perfectly fit. I'm going to use a smaller pot on this. And as a lid, I will use this as the lid instead of the kettle. There we go. So let's take a look real quick at the burners on both of these. This one is made out of aluminum for the Dilo, and then on the left is the Trangia, which is made out of brass. This is the standard one that you find with the commercial ones. It is not the military one. From experience, I've been using this a few times since I purchased it. There's just enough capacity to heat approximately 8 ounces of water. This one obviously it has a higher capacity, so it's going to burn longer. Plus you can use other accessories, you know, like if you want to use this to adjust the flame so it's not as strong, then you can use that. But what we're going to test is, you know, how fast both of these things can basically heat up about 8 ounces of water. We'll do some dimensions real quick. So this thing is about 2 5/8 wide, and this one is 2 3/4 wide, possibly a smidge better. For the height, this thing is 3/4 tall, and then we're looking at, if I count the top, then we're looking at 1 3/4. Obviously larger capacity. Now you can see you do have little holes in here for the jets on both of these. Alright, for the comparison, I'm just going to use almost full on this to put it into the Trangia, and then I'm going to fill this thing up with my hose. Alright, so now I'm just going to ignite both of these. I'm using the Exotac striker and ferro rod, and I like this because it's so small. You got the loop on there. I can put it on whatever I'm carrying with me, and it's very compact. Right, so I've got both of those ignited, so let's see how long this takes. I'm going to pause it real quick. I'll put the water on there and then we'll time them. So I just put both of those over the open flames of both items. I'm going to put the lid on each. Now let's see how long this takes for these things to get to a boil. Now I usually don't edit. I might be able to edit, but I'm just terrible at it. I work 2 jobs. I don't have a lot of time. So you may be watching, you know, 5 to 8 minutes of this thing just heating up and getting to the jets to heat these things up. But if I figure it out, then I will do it, so you don't have to wait as long. I'm just going to make sure that the one on the right is actually heating up. I can't tell if it's been extinguished by the wind. Oh yes, it is heating up. Now you can see the windscreen on this is a little bit more open than the windscreen on this. So you've got ports in here plus the gap in there for oxygenation, or just have the air come in there. It's a little bit more open on here. So I already have the Trangia is steaming. Let's take a look on this. This is not steaming yet. It is hot. So you can obviously see that the Trangia is more efficient. Now, because of the limited capacity on the one on the right with the Dilo Varik, is that it you really can't, you don't have a lot of usable volume for most things. So I would say that this is more appropriate just for coffee or tea. So we're still not boiling, and the watched pot doesn't boil, and I just slowed it even more. As you can see, that this has been boiling since I alerted you of that. So obviously the Trangia has been ready for coffee or maybe oatmeal. So it's still boiling. It is, I mean, it's bubbling, but not boiling. So now we're getting sufficient steam. So it is starting to boil, but it's not rapidly boiling. I see the steam coming out. So now we have a rapid boil. And what I like about the one on the right, the Dilo, is that it is very compact. If that's all you're doing is some oatmeal, coffee, tea, something like that, it's very small. You can transport this easily. Obviously with the Trangia 25, it's much larger. You have a lot of other things you can do. You have a pan, you have a kettle, you have a second bowl or pan that you can use. But if you're just going on a little hike and you want a little bit of water, this is really not too bad. Now, so you can see that it's still burning here, and it's even gotten a little hot on the handles, which I did not expect. I did not have this happen the previous times that I've been using this, but it is still burning on there. So you could potentially heat a little bit more water if you wanted to use this, and then put in 4 ounces or something like that, because I still have a little bit of alcohol in there. You can see that the Trangia is still working and there's still more alcohol in the reservoir. But that's about all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please post it on there and I'll try to reply as soon as I can. Have a good day.